Hi, John.
Marjorie
Hi.
Taylor Greene has literally ruined fondling cardboard cutouts in public for perverts like me. It's a sad day to be a deviant.
Thank you, John. Yeah, I mean, first of all, who didn't know she was lying in this stupid speech she tried to give, that she was frantic to stop them from stripping her from these committees? And then she just sent out a fundraising email on it this morning, full of lies, right? Accusing, AOC, the exact thing that, right, targeting AOC and Ilhan Omar, the exact reason, partially, that she lost these committees, targeting lies and blaming other people and trying to fundraise off of this.
Look, I get it, and I have a very unpopular take on Marjorie Taylor Greene that I've been discussing every night this week on Sirius XM Progress, which is, if you want to throw her out of Congress because of things she did before she was elected, I'm not down with that. The voters in her Georgia district sent her there knowing what a horrible, wretched human being she was, as alien to the Constitution as she is to the Bible. If you want to throw her out for inciting the Capitol riot, that's fine with me. But my whole thing is, liberals, why? Why would liberals want to get rid of Marjorie Taylor Greene? Why would people in the party that has had the liberal and moderate wings split for years by Russians and Republicans want to get rid of Kevin McCarthy's worst nightmare? I'm sorry, but I'd rather have Marjorie Greene in there making Kevin McCarthy's life hell, raising money for Democrats and inspiring people to vote in 2022 than have her replaced by someone who's going to vote exactly the same way, but not humiliate Kevin McCarthy. So I want her on that wall. I need her on that wall. It is the Marjorie Taylor Greene party, and every one of these godless rat bastards could have to answer for supporting her, staying on her committees, the same way they have to answer for their vote to throw out the votes of African-American voters in Pennsylvania and Arizona. Keep her there.
I get your point politically. I think morally, I agree with what they did yesterday, because it just,
I agree too.
They had to say enough. This is not, I get it that this is good for us politically and yada yada. And, they're losing independence hand over fist, but it's just enough. You can't suggest assassinating the Speaker of the House. It's like committees or Congress. It's illegal.
Yes. What I'm saying is it's immoral. Get rid of her, but on a political level. Okay, like the best thing that's happened to me is not Marjorie Taylor Greene being stripped. It's the Democrats voting earlier today on this bill, because you guys know this. You talk about it on your show. If the Democrats show up in 2022, and 2022 matters so much right now, if they say we really wanted to help Americans, but the darn filibuster just kept us from doing it, it's not going to be an excuse. They've got to take action. They've got to lead. And I'm sorry, I think I like watching, for the first time in my life, Democrats bring the fight to Republicans. I have never seen this kind of before.
No, this is a whole new day for Democrats between last night and budget reconciliation, John. That's why I said the Americans don't know. They don't understand about the filibuster, budget reconciliation, this, that. They know.
The founding fathers wouldn't understand it either.
Did I get my job back? Did I get help until I got my job back? Did I get a shot so that I can, get my kid back in school and get my life back, to close to normal? I mean,
exactly.
I agree with you. So Marjorie Taylor Greene said that they should forgive her because Jesus died for her sins, and that also she is Jesus, and that she's being crucified in the public square.
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Well, even on his worst day, Jesus didn't play victim. And, there's a few simple questions you should ask your Republican loved ones all the time. Number one, where was Barack Obama born? You'll learn a lot based on that one. Number two, can you name one day that Donald Trump didn't lie to you when he was president, month, day, year? And the third question that we should always ask is, can you cite one thing the GOP stands for that is also a teaching of Jesus? One teaching of Jesus this party or Trump supporters fight for. And they'll say a bunch of crap that's not in the Bible, like abortion, or Jesus really wanted the American embassy to be in Jerusalem. She's not a Christian. But this is religious freedom, right? Religious freedom in America is so wonderful that if your religion is criminalizing abortion rights, you're allowed to identify as a Christian. And I'm just a big fan of separation of church and hate and calling these fakes out. They can call themselves whatever they want to be. They can call themselves Christian. They're allowed. We also have the same First Amendment and are allowed to say, no, boo-boo. You can call yourself Christian, but when you use those gospels as toilet paper, the media might let you get away with that, but we won't.
Yeah.
Take away their camouflage, baby.
You said, you tweeted, America is truly the land of religious freedom when people whose only religion is criminalizing abortion have the freedom to identify as Christian. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Also, and again, Marjorie Taylor Greene is someone who talks about, communist billionaire George Soros. The Republican Party now is for people who think you can be a communist billionaire. If you believe that communist billionaires can exist, there's a political party waiting for your intellect. And I say, while she's there, and while she's horrible, until we can get rid of her, use her to our advantage and use her to make Kevin McCarthy more wretched and pathetic. Let her be the force that drives voter turnout in 2022. Let her be as famous as she wants to be, and let her lies and racism define the GOP for the next 2 years. Let's make the most of it.
My abiding question I had is, will John Fugelsang come up with his good descriptors of other Republicans after Trump is gone? And the answer is yes. You tweeted back at Kevin McCarthy, a violent mob desecrated the Capitol and killed this officer, and he'd be alive if your party hadn't pushed the big lie. And you still won't condemn the woman who cheered on the murderers, you corrosive, clot, sticky Trump residue. Wow.
Yeah.
That was
I had to get that was good. Well, Marjorie, I just call Lady Blah Blah. That's a lot simpler. But it's important to remember that we are in the week before impeachment. And I know that no one's been excited for this impeachment. Maybe it's going to be like WandaVision. No one wants to watch it, but once it's on, this is great. And I really think we have to remember that next week is going to be so huge in our country's history. It's going to be so huge for the next 2 years. And it's really, I think, brilliantly, the Democrats putting the Republican Senate on trial, not Donald Trump, because we'll see how they vote. If you're all shocked that only 11 Republicans voted to hold Marjorie Taylor Greene accountable for helping incite that violence, don't forget the 147 Republicans who voted to throw out African-American votes in Arizona and Pennsylvania with zero evidence later that same night, just because they felt like doing it. Marjorie Taylor Greene is no worse than all these Republicans. She just acts worse in public.
Someone, I don't know how, someone said it best, John, I don't know exactly how, but she's not an anomaly. She is an eventuality of what was going to happen. The Capitol riots were an eventuality of violence that Donald Trump has been inciting for years. Yeah. I mean, none of this is really a shock.
Not to me. I think that the GOP and Fox News were like Dr. Frankenstein, and they created this low information voting based monster. And the monster has now found mad scientists it likes better than Dr. Frankenstein, and they can't control it anymore. Look at Fox's ratings. So, I just say splinter this movement, and let's enjoy watching them fight each other for a change. And maybe it actually seems like the liberals and the moderates have stopped fighting each other. I'm ready for that for a couple of years, and to watch the Nazis and the Nazis light duke it out.
Yes, thank you. And you summed up their dilemma. Dick Cheney gets to defend a GOP that has now slandered both his daughters.
Oh.
And Liz Cheney is somehow the moral center of it.
When the moral center is someone who was raised by Dick Cheney, like they've still got a bed waiting for him in The Hague, and like that's as good as it gets, folks. Liz.
Yeah.
So
and also your thoughts on My Pillow guy. They were talking about all the degrees that people in the Biden cabinet have, Harvard, Yale, Stanford, whatever. And you said, but have any of them built a pillow empire while supporting a crack habit? I think not. It's true. Yeah.
Indeed.
It's not like Trump people didn't have pedigree.
It's just, I for one am shocked to learn that Marjorie Taylor Greene is exactly who we knew she was when she first ran for Congress. That's, is she really worse than Lindsey Graham, or is she just worse at a cocktail party than them?
Right, you're right. She's just saying the things out loud that that they say don't say that out loud.
Look, if the Democrats had kept Anthony Weiner, back when all that happened, remember Anthony Weiner was the biggest sex scandal with no actual sex. If the Democrats had decided, no, this guy didn't do anything wrong, it was wrong what he did, but he didn't have an affair, let's keep him and defend him, the GOP would have had the Democrats for lunch. And it was wrong, and it was crappy, and it was unfortunate, but let them defend her. The Democrats reject their sinners. The Republicans elect their sinners, Democrats will throw out Al Franken. Democrats will throw out Katie Hill. Let the GOP think they've won this and keep her there, and then let them own her. Again, Kevin McCarthy, is the dumbest man. Kevin McCarthy might be dumber than Louis Gohmert and Marjorie Taylor Greene on shrooms. Let these people self-destruct, and please, Democrats, stay organized.
We have this ongoing battle with the word QAnon to try to defend that he doesn't know what it is. Yeah.
Oh, I know. Yeah, and he's a liar. I mean, they're all awful liars, but we know the GOP doesn't mind if you're a liar, and they don't mind if you're a really bad liar, because again, the only ideology is owning libs.
Okay, here it is.
The dangerous lies of QAnon.
Okay, he knows exactly what it is.
QAnon.
He has mispronounced it multiple times, sometimes correctly, and then that's his new trick, is to mispronounce it so you think he doesn't know what it means.
But you know what, Steph? Can I ask you something? Can I ask you in the moves?
What's that?
Don't you think, though, for as bad as it is, isn't it kind of nice to wake up in the morning and only have to worry about a global pandemic and a climate crisis and a crashed economy and civil unrest? I mean, it's still better.
It's so refreshing. Yeah. Oh, God, it is.
I sleep better at night.
You know, there's a lot happening. Totally inappropriate women can be in Congress now. You know, people write every now and again and ask me if I'm going to run. And I was like, well, Adam Schiff's my congressman. And now there's word that he might want to be Attorney General of California.
Yeah.
And so now, John, I'm just saying, there's not, I didn't fondle a cardboard cutout of you. I have actually fondled you in House Parks backstage. There's film of that. There's film of my hoo-ha. I've tweeted pictures of my hoo-ha from.
You fondled them on stage.
Yeah.
Not even backstage.
Oh, no, not backstage. And then also I've tweeted from numerous listeners' phones. I've tweeted a picture of my hoo-ha.
Yeah.
There was that demonstration you and Hal used to do on stage.
Oh, yeah. We have teabagging film. Yeah.
But remember, you do A, have a political lineage. B, no one has any standards anymore, and that can lead to your advantage. And C, we'll all lie for you. We'll lie for you and cover up everything. That's the kind of things we are. That's how patriotic we are. We'll cover up your lies. And
just you and I painting on House Parks pants for the original version of Sexy Liberal was a highly erotic experience.
Yeah, that was just you on that one. Just you on your own. I gave you my spray brush and said, Stephanie, have that.
Yeah, John was busy conceiving a child, so he couldn't.
In the bathroom at the Chicago Theater.
Sure.
Yeah.
With as many audience members as I could find. Yes.
I know. I tried to get in, and someone's like, they're busy in there. I was like, well.
My wife was already 6 days pregnant by that time, by the way. I went back and did the math. She was 6 days pregnant by that time.
Okay.
Whatever. Personal comedy Jesus. Okay. It was immaculate conception, whatever. Okay, love you. Go to sexyliberal.com. Get the COVID inaugural version, and the 10-year anniversary is coming up. The big extravaganza of
coming up in April. We're very, very excited. And tonight on my Serious XM show, Mary McCartney joins me, Paul's daughter, who has a great new cooking show. I worked with Mary years ago on a special I did with her dad, and it's really a delight to have her join me on Sirius XM. So check it out tonight on Channel 127.